Some books are written to be read, some to be studied, and some are written to be feared. Hidden for centuries, bound in pale vellum, a single volume has confounded the world's greatest minds. Its pages are filled with an alphabet no one can decipher. Its drawings, plants that never existed, stars that never shone, and human figures in scenes that defy all logic. This is the Voynich Manuscript, the book no one can read and perhaps was never meant to be. The year was 1912. In a crumbling Jesuit monastery near Rome, a Polish book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich was searching through forgotten shelves of medieval texts. Among the dust and cobwebs, he found an old wooden chest sealed with wax. Inside were several ancient manuscripts, but one caught his attention immediately. A thick, parchment-bound book covered in strange, curling handwriting. The pages were filled with symbols and illustrations that made no sense at all. Voynich purchased it quietly, believing he had found something extraordinary. He was right, but not even he could imagine the mystery he had unleashed. When experts first examined the manuscript, they were shocked. The text was written in an entirely unknown alphabet, over 20 to 30 unique characters, forming words that appeared structured and repetitive like a real, functioning language. It had grammar, syntax, rhythm, but it was no language ever spoken by humankind. Some letters seemed familiar: Latin, Greek, Hebrew, but they didn't fit. The writing flowed smoothly, as if written quickly and confidently, implying that the author understood every word, and yet no one since has. The book is about 240 pages long, though evidence suggests at least 30 pages are missing. Its illustrations are divided into sections, each more mysterious than the last. Botanical section, hundreds of plants drawn in exquisite detail, none of which exist in nature. Astronomical section, zodiac wheels, star maps, and planetary diagrams that don't match the known sky. Biological section, nude women bathing in green fluids connected by tubes like living circuits. Pharmaceutical section, jars, roots, and symbols resembling alchemical tools. Recipes, pages of short paragraphs, each marked with a star as if listing potions or rituals. Every page feels deliberate, meaningful, but the meaning is lost to time. Voynich was obsessed. He sent copies of the book to scholars across Europe. One name stood out: William Newbold, a professor from Pennsylvania. Newbold believed the text contained hidden microcode, tiny messages concealed within the letters. He spent years analyzing it under magnification. Convinced he could see miniature symbols, when he announced his findings, the academic world mocked him. After his death, his theory was discredited, but it left a haunting question. Was the manuscript deliberately encrypted at a level beyond comprehension? During World War II, the U.S. Army's top cryptographers, who broke German and Japanese codes, attempted to decipher the Voynich manuscript. They failed. One of them wrote, "After months of study, I can make nothing of it. It is either a clever hoax or written by someone from another world." Later, in the 1960s and 70s, early computers analyzed the text. They confirmed it followed mathematical language patterns, too complex to be random, but impossible to decode. Even in the 21st century, AI language models have tried and failed. Every attempt ends the same way. Patterns without meaning. It's as if the book wants to remain silent. Carbon dating revealed the parchment was made between 1404 and 1438 AD, the early Renaissance. But the ink, the pigments, and the style of illustration are unique. Several suspects have emerged through history. Roger Bacon, a 13th century English monk known for secret experiments. John Dee, the mystic advisor to Queen Elizabeth I Edward Kelly, an alchemist who claimed he could speak with angels, and even Leonardo da Vinci in his youth. But no proof connects any of them to the manuscript. It simply appeared as if written by no one. Many believe the manuscript is a book of alchemy, a guide to transforming not metals, but the self the strange plants could represent. Ingredients for spiritual transmutation. The naked women bathing in green. Liquid may symbolize purification, the soul, being cleansed in the waters of rebirth. Some alchemists described knowledge so dangerous that it could only be encoded in symbols. Perhaps this was one of those forbidden texts, a language meant to hide enlightenment from the unworthy. Other scholars see something different. The drawings of human anatomy, organs resembling cells, networks like veins or circuits. Some believe the author understood biology centuries ahead of time. Could it be a medical journal from a lost genius, or something more? Extraterrestrial? The pools of green fluid, the women connected by tubes, could they depict genetic experiments or the creation of life itself? The Voynich's pages might be showing what the author saw, not with human eyes, but through something far stranger. Linguists found that the script follows the Zipf law, a mathematical rule that governs real languages, but there are anomalies, repetitions too symmetrical, structures too artificial. AI trained on the text suggests it could have been generated algorithmically as if written by a machine. But this was the 1400s. No machines existed, unless the manuscript came from somewhere or someone far ahead of its time. The theories range from rational to unimaginable. Lost language of a forgotten European culture, a cipher hiding political or religious. Secrets, a hoax designed to sell for gold, communication from non-human intelligence, and one final possibility, that it was written by a prophet or visionary who saw images and ideas beyond human speech and tried desperately to record them. What if the Voynich Manuscript is a human attempt to describe the indescribable? We can trace its history only through fragments. In the 1600s, it belonged to Emperor Rudolf II of Bohemia, who believed it was written by a magician and paid a fortune for it, 600 ducats in gold. It then passed to a series of alchemists and Jesuit scholars until it vanished for centuries. When Voynich found it in 1912, he revived a mystery that had slept for 300 years, and since then, it has refused to reveal its truth. Today, the manuscript rests at Yale University's Beinecke Library, catalogued as MS-408. It's kept under glass, digitized page by page for the world to see. Thousands of cryptologists and hobbyists have tried their luck. None have succeeded. Each who studies it too long speaks of the same feeling, that the book looks back at them. Some researchers now suggest the Voynich manuscript might be the product of a single mind, perhaps someone suffering from hallucinations or delusions, who invented their own written world, a universe of symbols that made sense only to its creator. If that's true, then the Voynich is a map to the mind of a genius or a madman, a glimpse into the thin line between brilliance and insanity. But others say no human could have made it. They point to strange magnetic traces in the ink and microscopic structures that seem too perfect for handwork. One chilling theory claims it's a downloaded text, knowledge transmitted to Earth and recorded by a chosen scribe. An alien codex, a book of instructions. If that were true, we are reading a message that was never meant for us. What if the book has been understood, and those who did are no longer allowed to speak? Rumors claim certain institutions decoded part of it and locked away the results. Perhaps the mystery isn't unsolved. Perhaps it's forbidden. Over 6 centuries old, written in a language no one can read, the Voynich manuscript remains a mirror, reflecting humanity's endless hunger for knowledge. It whispers that some truths are not lost, only waiting to be found. But maybe it's better that some doors stay closed, because behind them might lie a knowledge that the human mind is not yet ready to comprehend. The Voynich Manuscript, a riddle without a key, a voice without a mouth, a book that refuses to be known.